Hello. So I wanted to stop and kind of just do a quick little video, just talking about the new moon that just happened, and some of the things that we need to be focusing on with Uranus and Gemini, and how we need to be focused on taking in information, trying new things, learning new methods and situations, just because I think it's something that we're going to be called to do a lot more in this 7-year period. Recently, as you know, I was on sabbatical. I was down in the country, which I was loving. I went back to New York to work on something, and then went to Milan for Design Week, which was a lot of fun. I've posted about it, and now I'm in LA working on a project which I'm very excited about. I'm very proud of. I can't obviously tell you about it yet, but it was a passion project, but also I think it's going to do big things, so I'm super excited about that. I'm leaving here soon, but I did just go and see some art. I always like to see art wherever I am, so I'll be posting about that. But just wanted to kind of talk about when these times are changing, and how it's like 1 minute you're in one phase and then all of a sudden you're kicked into another phase. And so I think this last month and a half, and probably the next month, is going to be pretty busy, but I think busy in a really good way. And I have some new inspiring ideas that I obviously want to work on, and some new art pieces that I want to work on, which I'm trying to get to the point where I can post more. But because I'm moving around so much, I want to be able to post things, in the way that I want them, and then, how that goes. So I'm trying not to be a perfectionist about it because it's unnecessary. But that said, I wanted to share just good vibes, and I will have a new update soon about kind of what the next steps in my life are. When I'm back in New York, a couple of things are happening that I've been working on. I wanted to I'm going to an opening for the furniture collective that I'm working with on my furniture pieces. So we'll get an update from them and kind of see where the prototype is. But I think, the energy has been good with the new moon in Taurus. So hopefully that continues on, and then we're going into Gemini, which is my sister brother air sign. So everything's going to be great for that, but there's a lot happening at once. So I'm trying to keep the peaceful. The other thing I did want to share was, when you're off on sabbatical, or when you kind of have downtime, you start implementing all these things that when you come back to the busyness of life, you have to remember to implement those things. So I think the downtime is for you to be able to take in those things, and then when you get busy is for you to put it in practice. That's one. 2, I had a really funny thing happen to me today, which I won't tell you too much about because that was part of the message. But I was walking from, I was in Larchmont, and this guy started talking to me. And you know how somebody is like a energy reader, or he told me all of this stuff that I was like, yo, I'm here for it. It sounds amazing. I think he was accurate. The last time this happened to me was back in, had to be like 2004. I was over by Central Park Zoo, and there was this guy who was reading palms. The guy that, like, a couple days before, I had been outside and was taking my son to the zoo, but obviously I couldn't stop to talk with the guy. I was like, I'm not gonna have my son stand in line for me to get my palm read. So a couple days later, I had gotten fired from a job, another story, which I think I already posted, whatever the case. The guy predicted my life for the next 10 years. Like, I went back to try to find him a few years later, gone. But everything he said for the next 10 years came to be. I felt like this guy that, like, just all of a sudden started talking to me today was that, yes, I could be caught off guard in such a way. But I'm telling you, sometimes these people be knowing stuff. There's anointed people on these streets. I know I sound crazy, but it's true. Anywho, I just wanted to drop a note. Those things that we take in quiet times, we should be implementing when we are living our lives. And that's how we really see the process and the progress of growth. So that's my word for the day. Soon.